Hi everybody, welcome back. It's episode number 192. I'm Tommy Maroon. Ignoring the shaving cut and 5 o'clock shadow, I'm a kid just like you. Anyone ever seen Fairly Odd Parents Challenge Chasers before? Nobody? Oh man, that's such a great TV movie. I love it. I thought it was hilarious. That's where I got that reference from. But losing my train of thought, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Guardians first and foremost. It's actually a mole removal, not a shaving cut. I just always wanted to say that. It's from Clint Hintz, a parody of Blue's Clues. But yeah, Cleveland Guardians pitching stats: ERA 3.79, 19 saves, a 1.27 WHIP, 252 average, 356 strikeouts, 1 complete game, 127 walks, and a grand total of 424.2 innings pitched. That's all dating back to yesterday, heading into yesterday. Let's look at the Guardians against the Mets. Oh boy, that was not fun. The Guardians got swept to the Mets. Oh boy. Josh Naylor was one of the few bright spots for the Guardians that day. In Game 1, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, including a 3-run bomb, if I'm not mistaken. Gabriel Arias hit a go-ahead home run in Game 1. And then Emmanuel Clase had a blown save out in Game 1, which has become a little more commonplace now for the usually sure-handed closer. And then Jose Ramirez hit a go-ahead home run in Game 2, but Starling Marte responded with a 2-run home run that gave the Mets the lead. Ramirez hit another home run in Game 3. It's also worth noting that Games 2 and 3 were doubleheaders. And then Lindor hit a home run in Game 3, and then there was a sac fly in the 8th inning. Shane Bieber did a great job, but Justin Verlander seemingly did better, picking up the win, getting 8 innings of work out there. And then the Guardians against the White Sox. There's a game later on today at 1, if I'm not mistaken. Series is knotted up at 1. Mike Zunino hit a 2-run bomb in this first game. Hunter Gaddis had 6 shutout innings in Game 1. It's also worth noting what Will Brennan did yesterday or 2 days ago. Will Brennan had killed a bird with a single into left field just a few days after one of the Diamondbacks pitchers killed a bird as well, which is kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time. I don't know if we're going to show it or whatnot, but it was still very odd to see. The ball just simply died out into left. He killed a bird. It was very sad for the bird and his family. I think this is it right here, if that's Will Brennan, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's Andres Jimenez. I apologize. It must be later. So, anyways, Guardians against the White Sox last night was a tough loss. Logan Allen charged with the loss. Andres Jimenez had 2 hits, and Ahmed Rosario and Will Brennan scored the 2 runs. Will Brennan, the day after killing the bird, hit a home run. Who would have thunk it? That's pretty hilarious in my opinion. Having done that, he pays tribute to the bird by hitting a home run, but it was not enough. It was not enough. Yasmani Grandal, I think we just missed it, if I'm not mistaken. There's a nice double steal down to second. And I got the runner out. Anyways, Yasmani Grandal had 2 RBIs yesterday. And the Guardians, despite a weak 21-27 record, they're only 3.5 out of the division lead. I repeat, just 3.5 out of the division lead. The weak Twins and the weak American League Central. That's right, the Twins are leading the division with a poor 25-24 record. And the Guardians, despite being the 4th worst team in the American League, they might find themselves in the playoffs. Who would thunk it? Now it's time to go to the NBA playoffs because we can. First things first, the Western Conference Finals. Of course, that's what Patrick says, you know by now. It was the Nuggets taking care of the Lakers in a clean sweep in 4 games. Jamal Murray, 37 points in Game 2. I believe Nikola Jokic had triple-double in all 4 games. He won the Western Conference Finals. Magic Johnson MVP. And Denver's off to the NBA Finals. First time ever it happens. Jokic is on a revenge tour for not winning his 3rd straight MVP. Those are the final 4 minutes of the game. Nikola Jokic, who was robbed of an MVP according to some people, very frustrated about it. Here he is with a crazy shot that goes in. And man, oh man, that is just hard to believe. The fact that he did not win MVP, and it's very strange to see it. I mean, Joel Embiid had a great season, but Nikola Jokic, he's been tearing it up all postseason. But yeah, guess what? Good news, everyone, as Professor Farnsworth says on Futurama. The NBA's narrative of Lakers Celtics has been destroyed. It has been destroyed. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There will not be a Lakers Celtics NBA Finals, contrary to what the NBA wanted. Adam Silver's head is exploding as a result. The Lakers were the 150th team to go down 3-0. The Lakers were also the 150th team to lose the series after going down 3-9. And now LeBron's contemplating retirement. I don't know if he's doing this for real or whatnot, but he's probably not doing it for real. He's just saying things because I don't know, because reasons I don't know why. But yeah, still saying that if he retires, which I doubt, it's still been a phenomenal career for him. Yeah, still a crazy game back on, what was it, Monday night, where the Denver Nuggets clinched a spot in the NBA Finals. They will await the Miami Heat or the Boston Celtics. The Heat are up 3-1. Like Denver, they were up 3-9 at one point. Jimmy Butler is going absolutely insane right now in the postseason. Fun fact, Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, when he was in college, his last college basketball game, I believe, was against Marquette, where he lost. Who did he lose to, you might be wondering? He lost to Jimmy Butler and the Marquette Golden Eagles. The Heat would be the lowest seed to reach the NBA Finals and the first play-in team to reach the NBA Finals. Of course, they were an 8th seed. The Bulls gave them a scary run, of course, in what do you call it, the playoff run, which is kind of hard to believe. But yeah, the Celtics could be the first team. I mean, they did win the first game pretty well, the 4th game pretty well. They do have the next game at the TD Garden. It will not be the easiest task in the world for them to come back from 3-0. In fact, I still doubt it's going to happen. But if it doesn't happen and the Heat hold on and prevail, Adam Silver's head is going to explode once again. Because it won't just be the Lakers not in the NBA Finals. It won't be the Celtics in the NBA Finals, which will be so hilarious. And the NBA will get pretty low ratings, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you view it, because Miami and Denver, people will be like, who? Are you serious? And pretty much only the NBA faithful will be watching, and Adam Silver's like, no, it's supposed to be Lakers Celtics, so everybody watches. But everybody will not be watching. It should still be a fun NBA Finals nonetheless. Of course, what a run it was for the Lakers. They did a great job nonetheless, but this was Denver's series for sure. Now time to get a little bit on the serious side. Of course, unfortunately, last Thursday night, the entire Cleveland Browns faithful lost a legend, arguably the greatest running back in NFL history, arguably the greatest player in Browns history, arguably the greatest player in NFL history. That's right, folks. Jim Brown passed away at the age of 87. He was a man who pushed for civil rights as well. One of the greatest players of all time. Loved football, loved the Browns, but most importantly, he really loved the city of Cleveland and loved people. His number 32 has retired by the Browns as a result of his phenomenal career. This was shortly after his retirement in 1965, which was very abrupt and sudden. We'll get to that later. He was a 6th overall pick for the Browns in 1957. So, who was Jim Brown? For those that are unaware, well, let's dive deep into him. He played for Syracuse originally from in the mid-1950s. He has a statue out there outside the JMA Wireless Dome. But Jim Brown played for, guess who, the Cleveland Browns from 1957 to 1965. He retired in 1965, of course, on top the NFL list with 12,312 rushing yards, 106 touchdowns, and averaging over 100 yards per game, which is absolutely insane. His stats really hold up for a man who last played 58 years ago. On the receiving end, he had 2,499 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 21.2 receiving yards per game. He won the United Press International MVP 3 times, the Associated Press MVP 3 times, and the NEA MVP 3 times. He was the first player in NFL history to rush for 10,000 yards in career. His record held up until 1984 when Sweetness, that's right, Walter Payton, took it over. Jim Brown reached the Pro Bowl in every year of his career. He had 1,000 rushing yards in every season except for his rookie season in 1962, but he had over 900 yards in all of those seasons. He was an All-Pro every year except for 1962. And of course, he unexpectedly retired, as mentioned earlier, 1965, to pursue a career in Hollywood. Had some hit films, if I'm not mistaken. He retired on top of the game. There was not a year where Brown was down. There was not a year where Brown had frustrations because, well, he and Frank Ryan took the Browns to the NFL championship game in the last year, 1965, where the Browns lost to the Packers. He won the 1964 NFL championship game. Of course, the Browns have not won it ever since, and of course the state of Cleveland won't win another major sports championship for another 51 and a half years. He was Rookie of the Year 1957. Only 10 running backs have more rushing yards than Jim Brown, and all of them are Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. You can sure bet guys like Frank Gore, who is not in the Hall of Fame yet, will certainly be in the Hall of Fame. Allen and Canton. His stats hold up unbelievably well. And one of the things I'd like to point out is that in the episode Homer the Heretic on The Simpsons, he had an astonishing return. That's right. There was a triple reverse razzle-dazzle touchdown and that tied the game at 63 when Homer skipped church. And it was incredibly high scoring, 63-63. 3 appearances from Morgana, the Kissing Bandit. And of course the astonishing return of Jim Brown, which it was pretty hard to believe. Homer skipped church. He called it the best day of his life. Great episode, but yeah, condolences to him out here on WCTV. And everybody said their condolences and thoughts and prayers and whatever you want to call it throughout the world, throughout the country. Politicians, the legends, and even the NFL itself. Roger Goodell offered their thoughts and prayers. Browns, ESPN, and other sports sites reported the death, and they were quick to offer their sadness to the Brown family. The Cavs and Guardians also expressed grief, and the next day, well, of course, he passed away Thursday night. The Browns showed the number 32 outside their stadium the day after his passing, shortly after they heard about it. And you know what? It may be sad, but you know what? He and Ernie Davis, that's right, though, what could have been the best running back duo in NFL history can finally play football together. The dream backfield that never happened in 1962 is finally happening in heaven, you can sure bet. And we here on Tommy Maroon Sports Show on WCTV, if the Brown family is watching, which maybe they are, we'd like to say that we are very sorry for your loss. It will be a very somber year for the Browns, and definitely on the home opener against the Bengals, there will be tributes to him. You can sure bet that. Jim Brown, gone but not forgotten, 1936 up to 2023. Definitely left behind one of the biggest legacies in football and sports history, a presence that will certainly be missed. Well, folks, that is it. We have 86 days left till high school football till we play the Hudson Explorers. That should be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for that. We will get to reports on the high school football team soon. Not yet, though. I think it's a little too early, but still should be a lot of fun nonetheless. So that's it. That's all the time we have left. Thank you for tuning in, hanging out with us this week. Hope to see you next week for episode number 193 of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.